There.
Hey, hi, how are
Hi, how
you?
are you?
I am good. How about yourself?
I am doing well, beautiful. Thank you so much for
Good.
being here.
Absolutely. You look so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So do you. You look
Thank you.
fabulous, honey.
Thank you. Thank you. Just zooming it up and Instagramming it up from the house. You know how we do.
Girl, and we see you, and we see you doing it
Thank you.
well. Well, before we get
Thank you.
started, I want to ask, how are you? How's your day going? How you feeling? What's going
Good. You know what? Any day that we are alive and blessed to be able to do what we love is an amazing day. We woke up today, so
on?
I am exactly where I want to be, which is in my house, creating and of course interviewing. And I'm blessed and grateful that my family is doing well too. So I'm good.
Amen to
Yeah.
that. Wonderful
Thank
answer.
you.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you for being here. I want
Thank you for
to,
having me.
absolutely, I want to go ahead and get into it with you. Can I do that?
Let's talk. Let's chat it up. I'll angle this and let's have some fun. Yes, let's do
All
it.
right, let's have some fun. So,
Okay. Okay.
now, Portia, you are indeed a woman of many talents. You are a hostess. You dance, you sing, you are an actress. I mean, you do
Mm-hmm.
so much. But
Oh.
what was the
Mm-hmm.
moment that you realized, you know what, this acting thing, I really got something for myself with this. This is what's going to
Oh.
really take me there. What was that moment for you? And then
Mm-hmm.
what made you decide to go full fledged and pursue it?
Of course. I think the aha moment was when I was very young. For people that want to laugh and have a good like, oh my goodness, I was in Friday. That was my very first acting role as a kid. Yes. Oh yeah, I was next to Megan Good at the time. She had an agency that I would end up being represented by later on. She was rep by an agency, and the first job ever at the ice cream truck, I actually got hit up beside the
Wow.
head by Chris Tucker. He's walking through, to get to Big Worm, and he hits the kids going there. Yeah, I was one of the kids that got the mollywop, going up
No
to the,
way.
yeah.
That's
So I
awesome.
started as a kid. So for me, the aha moment was like always being able to memorize lines and being able to just be funny and just kind of love the world of entertainment. My aunt and my uncle were entertainers, and I just kind of fell into it. And after that, I booked like three national commercials, and then I had to join SAG. So right from there, it's like it's serious. When you pay to be in a union, it's like okay, now it's getting real. So
Right.
yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. That is so charming to find
Yes,
out
I
that you
know,
were that
right? It's like
well.
to think. Yes. Hmm.
That's amazing. That is a
Absolutely.
cult classic. So you are
Yes.
part of, such a wonderful, rich history. That is
Right. I know. Hopefully part two happens. I'm like, hello, Cube. Can I get a role in part? All good.
okay. Well, thank you for rocking with me. Now,
No problem.
let's talk about the new Netflix series. Uh,
Yes.
it's called Dad Stop Embarrassing Me.
Mm. Dad,
Now,
stop.
you were handpicked by
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx to play his
Right.
sister Chelsea. That is
Mm.
incredible. Now,
Yes.
I would love for you to talk to us a little bit more about being handpicked by Jamie Foxx himself, and then also
Okay.
just talk a little bit more about your character Chelsea.
Absolutely. So I think it's just a crazy situation how stuff really comes full circle. I've known Jamie for a very long time. I used to be on a radio show that was on his Foxhole network on Sirius Radio. So I always saw him in passing. He was always really cool. Never chopped it up too long, but it was always just, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Keep killing it. And that was it. Fast forward, years later, I would be at his house for parties. Again, always cool in passing, but never talked about anything entertainment wise. Audition comes up for a movie, and it's literally Jamie Foxx directed and Jamie Foxx producing this big project. And I'm like, oh my God, this would be so crazy if I got this movie. He'd probably trip out seeing me come in the door. Fast forward, I go in the room. He wasn't there. It was just the casting director. They loved me, blew them away, and I got a call back. So on the sheet, it said, Jamie Foxx will be in attendance at the callback. And I'm like, oh God,
All
all
right.
right, I gotta go kill it. Go in the room, and he was shocked to see me because he's like, what? Like, I had no idea. Like, you do this? Okay. Went in there, did my thing, and he was on the floor, loved the performance, and was like, oh my God, I'm so mad that I never knew you did this before. So he was like, you're rocking with me. We're doing this movie. So I, play his girlfriend in this movie that hasn't come out yet. It might come out pretty soon, but we did the movie, and that was a couple years ago. Fast forward to last year when this project was coming up, I had heard rumblings of a TV show, but I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna call him and be like, hey, you got a role for me? Like, I'm not doing that. But people were saying that he wants you part of his TV show. And sure enough, I got the call, I auditioned, and after that, I got contracts from Netflix, and we were filming top of last year in March, and we did one episode, and then of course we got shut down because of the pandemic. But I did come on board, and Jamie was my biggest cheerleader, and I can't thank him enough because we have such a great on-screen chemistry. But he believes in my talent, and I know that I can deliver if I'm given the opportunity. So it's felt amazing being on set with him and David Allen Greer and just watching them work. It was incredible. So the Chelsea character is she's funny. She is kind of like she gives it to him as she sees it. She doesn't hold back, which I love. Because I have an older brother that's literally like the same age as Jamie. They're both Sagittarian, so I feel like I know him so well. So she's a straight shooter. You know, she tells him when he's wrong about doing certain things with his daughter, like, no, you were out of line for that, or no, you don't need to do that. And he listens to his sister and his family sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes, that's the key word. Sometimes he doesn't and it goes crazy. Other times he listens and it's like, okay. And now we're like this family unit. So her character is really funny, and it's going to be a great time to just watch it come to life after all this time. It's going to be great.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm excited. So excited. Yeah.
With Jamie, with the rest of the cast, this is going to be amazing. And
Yes.
congratulations on everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So now, in one of the stills of the upcoming series in the episode, we see your character is holding a microphone.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean we may get to hear your vocal talents in the series?
Ooh, yeah. No, like, shabba-dabba-dwee-dwee-doo.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Lil Duval on that one. I always laugh when I do that. Yes, I am so happy to say in one of the episodes, I am actually singing in an episode, and it's so amazing that they chose that as one of the stills to promote the show. So it's just amazing knowing that Jamie's a singer, of course, and myself, and he was able to allow me to sing in the show. So you will get to hear that, as well as music that I'm going to be putting out very, very shortly around the show as well.
Exciting.
Yes, it's exciting. Yeah.
I'm excited. Now,
Thank you.
what would you say, of course, now, what would you say is the most memorable moment that you have had on the series, shooting the series with Jamie and the rest of the cast that you can share with us?
Of course. You know what? Honestly, some of the most amazing moments are not actually on film. You know, like when you're in between takes and you are just in a moment of great, you know, where they're maybe fixing the lighting or fixing the sound, and we all just have a chance to vibe and have a good time. Those are the moments. But there's one in particular that I'm sure Jamie's going to put out and that I'll put out, you know, once the show is out, because he's in character for this scene. We literally bust into a whole like live performance of Proud Mary, where I'm playing Tina and he's literally on his Ike, and we are rocking out. And I had no idea. I don't think even he knew that the actual cameras were rolling. And there's so many takes of us behind the scenes, clowning around, singing, ad-libbing, and all the cast. I mean, David Allen Greer, amazing singer. Jonathan Kite can actually sing on the show. So we all have a chance to really just vibe in between the takes. But some of the funniest ones you guys are going to see on our Instagrams and social medias once the show comes out. Then we can, you know, put it out. But really, that's my favorite, when we are just full blown. I'm giving you choreography and he's giving me Ike and I'm giving you Tina. It's so lit. Like, it's funny. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That vibe right there.
Yes. So fun. So fun.
Realness. I can't wait to see it on screen.
Thank you.
Speaking of, can we expect any special guest appearances on this new series?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not gonna say it because then they're gonna be mad at me. Okay. But absolutely, we have several guest stars that come in. Some of your favorite female comedians. I'll give you some hints. Female comedians. Some of your favorite. I'll put it this way. Jamie is playing many characters. He's already alluded to it in the show, but he is playing several characters in this show that are gonna have you guys on the floor, outside of the other guest stars that we have coming in. Yes, it's definitely the root cast, but people come in to add such an amazing element, you know, to this show, that are playing family or that are playing, you know, I mean, I don't want to give it away, but yes, you're going to see many people that come on board. And after the show is out, that we could come back and be like, yo, did you see that character? And then we can really chat about it. You know, it's so amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Okay.
Yes.
Y'all are ready to tune in. I know I am.
Yes.
You've also appeared in tons of popular series, from the Park to HBO's Ballers to E!
Mm.
Classic. What,
Right.
right? What has been your favorite of all of your previous roles? Who would you say is your favorite character to date?
Oh, my favorite character to date would have to be Erica Willis on the Parkers.
Uh,
Just because that character was just, I mean, when you see her initially, for those who haven't seen the character, it's now available on Netflix. You can go binge watch The Parkers. Season 4, a couple episodes in, I come in on the show, and I'm this very shy, kind of quiet singer coming to audition for this girl group, or actually for the group that they have on the show. Ken Lawson and Jenna Von Oy have the group on the show, and then Countess Vaughn, was in the group as well, but she was gone for a couple episodes, so they wrote in this brand new character. And to come into the show that I had already been watching, I loved Monique, I loved Countess, and to bring this dynamic of this shy, quiet girl to this diva slash leave me alone, I do what I want aspect that she had was so, so fun. And it airs all the time on regular TV. So every few days, people are hitting me up like, yo, I saw you on the Parkers. Was that you? And I'm like, it was so long ago, but I'm so blessed to feel like people still look at it and they're like, oh my God, you look the same. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you. Like, it's good to know that the herbs and alkaline water are working. Yeah.
I guess that's the secret because it
Yes.
is very much true. That is
Thank you.
such a great episode, and I love that you said
Thank you.
I was actually hoping that you said that.
Really, that's it. It's so iconic and memorable because to see, gosh, all these characters on screen sharing the spotlight and adding their own dynamic was so powerful at the time. I'm young and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm coming into a show that's so established already. I hope they welcome me in. And to this day, me and Countess Vaughn are still great friends. We'll Instagram, we'll text each other. I was at her house probably like 2 years ago before pandemic, like still really, really cool. And even the times I ran into Monique, this is the first thing she does. Hey, my baby. Come here,
Oh,
my baby. Like she's just such the mom,
yeah.
and I love seeing her and she's so proud and all the cast are really doing well. I had a chance to work with Ken on In the Cut, that he has a show as well that's on Bounce. So him and Dorian Wilson as well. We've all crossed paths at some point or another, and it's just a blessing to see that show really launched a lot of amazing careers, and to know that people are still rocking today when we can come together and be in the same space and work again is amazing. And even Brutman, like if you guys saw the episode, I fall in love with Brutman from the fifth floor from Martin, and we did a show together not too long ago, and I put it on my Instagram. If you guys go watch, I'm like, hey baby, and we're just literally doing this whole moment that we reenacted from the Parkers. So it's so much fun.
I love it.
Yeah,
Longevity is such a blessing.
that's the key.
That
That is absolutely the key. Longevity is to me more powerful than any overnight fame that I could have received. I would have never wanted. I want that long-term career. So to know that I was, a young kid in Friday and fast forward to now me being on a show starring, Jamie Foxx and David Allen Greer, it's like I would have taken that route well over, hey, you're super hot for 2 years and it's like, oh, what happened to her? Like, I don't want that. I don't want it. Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely God's timing. That's what I
But
always.
God, you better say it, girl. Say it
Yeah.
again. God's timing. Yes, because we get impatient in life. Like I always call myself patiently impatient. I know that I want certain things. We all want certain things, and when it doesn't happen in the time frame that we want it to, we're frustrated, we're angry, and it's like, why? And when I fast forward to how I first met Jamie, to being on the radio show, to being in a movie, to now starring on a series with him, it was all in the timing. and
Right.
and that's what is truly the definition of, if you're prepared when the opportunity presents itself,
Yes.
then boom, you can step right into where you belong.
Absolutely. You better say that.
Hello,
Okay.
hello,
Okay.
gotta be prepared, y'all. Prepare yourself.
Now,
Yeah.
you have done a slew of hosting and interviewing yourself.
Yes, I
Yeah,
have.
you have. You really have. Um,
Right.
for someone who has been in your shoes and wants to
hmm
continue growing in the entertainment career.
Yes. Wow. I think the key is versatility to
Mhm.
me. When you look at, like you said, my resume, people will say, "Oh my gosh, I saw her on the Parkers." But then if you go watch Wild and Out, I was on Wild and Out as a female comedian in one of the first few seasons. And then if you turn on, a music video when 106 in Park was at its highest point, I was in almost every video as a dancer or choreographer.
Right.
And then fast forward years later, I have a show on Fox where I'm a daily talk show host. I think the key is to recognize what you want to do and really practice at your craft and then step into where you belong. Like I fell into doing music videos because I was already a dancer, but I didn't know about videos. I was like, oh, those are cool. I saw casting on Craigslist. Just that easy. I saw casting, submitted myself, did some freestyling, and I got an email back saying, "Hey, we love you. Please report to set." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm bringing my mom. I don't know what set this is or who the artist is because it was anonymous." I'm like, "What is this?" Get there, and it was a 50 Cent Lloyd Banks music video on fire. Yeah, and that led to me doing Candy Shop with 50 Cent, to doing Summer Jam, to doing the BET Awards, all on him saying, yo, we want Porscha, bring her back. So it's about cultivating your relationships and gathering a good body of work. So when people see you, they're like, that person's really talented, let's bring them in. Let's bring them in to really show their true talent. And that's why I'm blessed with this show. I can sing and I can act and show people what I'm all about. And of course, God willing, we get a season two. It's going to be all kind of characters I'm sure that we'll all be getting to play. And it's going to be so much fun. So I'm just glad for the opportunity. But you guys that are watching, just make sure you stick to what you know that you're good at and really cultivate it and get that training and do your knowledge. Get your knowledge, go online, study, get mentors, get coaches, and you can really learn how to be who you are meant to be. Who you're meant to be is in there. You just sometimes it takes somebody else to bring it out of you.
Absolutely. That's wonderful advice. That's
Thank you.
advice.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
agreeing of it because it's so important to be knowledgeable about the craft
Yes.
and just get
Yes.
out there, all willy nilly. You really have
Yes.
what you're doing.
Yes.
Put in
Because
the
I
work.
don't like when people, and I get it. Not everybody understands, but it's like they'll hit me up and say, how can I get into acting? It's like you can Google that. Like, key thing is if you've never acted before, you might need to take some classes. So take some classes, study your favorite actors. You know what I'm saying? So it's like get under people that know what they're doing and study it. Google is your best friend. When me and my
Mhm.
mom were getting started, there was no social media, there was no internet, there was nothing that we could go to figure out how to do it. It was just like, hey, someone's talented. What do we do? Okay, well, go to a couple acting classes. I got discovered at acting class, and then I had an agent. And then sure enough, I was on sets. And it's like, it's the grind, it's the hustle. And so many people want stuff overnight that it's like, it doesn't happen overnight. And don't get frustrated when it doesn't, because that time is the time that you're supposed to be developing your craft and learning about the art of what you're trying to do. Even if you're a painter, I don't care if you're a dancer, if you're a musician, whatever it is, you have to study. Because you don't want
Mhm.
to walk up and have a Jamie Foxx and be like, hey, Jamie, I want to act. What do I do? He's going to be like, what? Well, huh? Maybe,
Right.
like it's just the basics that certain people should have to understand that you have to go through to really understand it. And then you can go out there and be confident, know what you're doing, and feel like, okay, I can hang with some of the people that have been doing this so long and know the terms on set and to know all the things that directors would ask of you in that space. Yeah,
Absolutely. That is
yeah.
awesome. Those are true gems.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Now, where would you like to see your career go in the next few years? Where do you see yourself?
Oh, wow. I see. Well, for one, I would love for this show to still be on. I think it's got so much potential to continue on many seasons based on this dynamic that Jamie and Corinne have created. It's their life story of the father-daughter dynamic as a teenager. Like everyone wants to see what that dynamic is like, and it's relatable, it's family friendly, and I would love to see it be on for several seasons. And then I would love to my music career. Singing has always been a passion of mine since I was young. I was singing before I was acting. So for me, music is such a big part of my life, and I would love to see songs on the charts. I would love to be in feature films and do what J-Lo did. She was the only artist to ever have the number one album and number one movie at the same time.
Yeah.
So I would love to have the number one single on the charts and to have my movie killing it at the box office while our show is the top streaming show on Netflix. Like, I think big and I feel like it's all possible. It's just a matter of, sticking to your guns and being consistent and knowing that it's going to happen. Just maybe not in the timing that you want it to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The process. You do
Yes.
have to process for
Do the
sure.
process. Yes, for sure.
Absolutely. Now, we
Yeah.
talk about being in gym class heroes. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Like, realized that this was you. I was like, oh my gosh, I
I
was,
love it. Gym class heroes. Oh my gosh. Love it.
yeah. You were in that adorable music video for Keep
Yeah.
Old, where you played love interest. What was that experience like, and what was it like to meet him?
Oh my gosh. See, that was one of those videos where it was an audition and Travi was there at the audition. It was directed by Alan Ferguson and Travi was there. And my first thought was, oh my God, he is so tall. Like,
Right.
people don't realize how tall he is. He's like a solid like 6'6", easy
Yeah.
6'4". So like he's really, really tall. And I was like, oh my God. Like first thought was like, oh, he's cute, but he's tall. Like, whoa. And I'm like this pint-sized girl. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? And it was literally, hey, just act like you guys are in a relationship. So you're happy, you're sad, you're fighting. And we played this all out in an audition. And the next day I got a call, hey, you booked it. And to be on that set and to do certain things in the moment, I loved how Alan was just kind of letting us play around. Like when we were on the porch, he said, yeah, act like you're braiding his hair. And then, I don't know, just have a moment. So my moment was like, I'm get mad at you. So I like slap your head against my knee. And those are moments that they use in the final edit. So to work with Travi was a blessing, and we're still friends to this day. Follow each other on IG. We check in, and I'm so blessed to have also shared the stage with Gym Class Heroes after that video on Jay Leno. I sang with them. Yeah,
Wow.
as a musician, they brought me in to sing on a song where Estelle was actually the artist on the song, and she was overseas. And they were like, "Portia, we want you to come in. You're doing this song. It's called Guilty as Charged." And I came in, rocked it, and then at the what was it? It's a club, a Key Club, when they had Key Club on Sunset Boulevard out here. Came and performed with them live. So again, it's all about your relationships and how people remember you to be able to come back and still work with them and have this dynamic, with them to where they see your other talents. Because I was just an actress on that set. It was nothing about music, but they heard what I was talking about. Me and Travis were talking music, and they said, "Hey, come in, live performance with us." And I'm like, "Yo, for real?" So
Wow.
it was awesome. It was such a blessing. Yeah. But
That's
shout out to Travi for sure.
That's amazing. Shout out. And
Yeah.
it's like you said, it all goes back to your connections and just
Bam.
making a good impression and giving
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
thank you for that with us. That's amazing.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks for asking. It's one of my favorite music videos because there's so many that people are like, "What music videos have you done?" And I'm like, "You want the list? It's long, but it's some iconic music videos that people would look back and be like, "Oh my God, she's that girl? No way!" Like the Sexy Lady Young Berg music video. I was the sexy lady. Like, yeah,
Girl,
like
sexy lady.
yeah, I'm sexy lady in the outfit and the shorts. Like I am the girl in the video, the sexy lady. And then Jim,
Like,
another one, Ballin, Jim Jones. We fly high, no lie, Ballin. Yeah, so
girl,
many
girl,
hits.
so you that
Yeah,
girl.
on that girl. Franchise voice. Oh, I think they like me. Oh, I think they like me. All the girls that are killing it. I'm
All
one of the girls.
jams. That's all you.
All the jams, and we can all look back and be like, 106 in Park was so close to my heart. Anybody that watched that show at one day, I was on every video in the top 10 countdown.
You better.
I was like, oh, there's got to be an award for that. I'm like, is there some sort of award that I can get for this? Like, it was amazing. Yeah,
It's incredible. That is incredible. Wow.
yeah, uh-huh.
For a while.
Yes,
You deserve everything that is coming for you right now. That is
thank you, thank
now,
you.
you're welcome. What are two things you would like people to know about Porscha Coleman? What are two
Okay.
like for us to know?
Ooh, two things that I want you guys to know. The first is that I love sports. If I was not doing, acting and music, I would be a sportscaster. Like one of my goals is and I've interviewed athletes before. That's actually on my resume too. I've been to the All-Star game and talked to LeBron, Amari Stoudemire, Carmelo Anthony, and some of the biggest like athletes. But I love basketball. Like I can commentate. Like even on Twitter, like if you go to hashtag Porsche Center, I'm Porsche Center because I give them all the sports updates, whether it's Lakers, Clippers, you name it. I'm the girl that'll talk sports. And most people are shocked to hear that I am really just like this whole sports loving girl. And that's my other passion that I absolutely love. And my second would be I love astrology. I am so big into astrology, the signs. I can meet somebody in a couple minutes. I'm like, oh, you're so and so, aren't you? And they're like,
I love
how do you,
that.
how do you know? What? Huh? And it's just fun to just kind of see how true to life some of the signs are to each other. You know what I'm saying? And then when you hear, well, if I guess it wrong, I'm like, well, what time were you born? I'm like, oh, your rising sign must be this. And they're like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, well, that's why you act like that, because that's your rising sign. So yes, I love astrology and I love sports.
Oh, I love that. And you're
Uh,
right. I never thought you were like, so into sports.
People would
I
never guess. Football as well. Football as well. My brother was a professional football player when I was growing up. He played, he was, training with the Oilers, with the Raiders. I grew up watching football in my house at the age of 2 or 3 years old, and my brother ran track. So it was always music on my mom's side and sports on my brother's side. So that's my world. So it's like all of that is just kind of it embodies who I am. So for me, I wanna host First Take one day, right where Molly Karam sits and Charlie Arnold sits. I'm like, I want to moderate. Max, come on. Stephen A, come on. Like I love that element of the sports talk world. So Sports Center and ESPN would be like my next goal.
and I could see
Yeah.
that. See that for you. You have
Yeah.
like ways you have the
Thank
personality,
you.
talent.
I
I just
love
see
it.
that.
Nice. I've been in a commercial before with Snoop and Mike Ditka that we did actually at the ESPN location in Connecticut, and I was like geeked out just to be there. I was like, oh my God, this is where one of the Sports Center ESPN hubs are at. Like I was fanning out completely because people would never guess that I'm the big sports girl, but that is me, the girl who will sit and chat sports with you all day long, outside of entertainment.
I love
Yeah. Yeah.
astrology as well.
Are you too?
I can't point out your sign just yet. I mean, I could guess
Okay.
it, but
Okay.
I love me some astrology. So that is
Okay. Take a guess. I'd be curious to see because a lot of people, most 90% of people guess my rising sign, which is that's the sign where people see your first impression. That's the sign that most people guess anyway. So what would you think is my sign?
I'm gonna take two guesses,
Or
even though
or
you
get three. I'm gonna give you three. Out of
okay.
12, give
All
me
right.
three.
So my
Okay.
first guess is Leo. Mm,
Okay, keep going. Keep
okay.
going.
Now second guess would be Scorpio
Okay, someone else said that. Okay.
too, and then I also would guess an Aries.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you that you're pretty much right because you guessed my rising sign. The first
Oh
sign that you guessed was Leo.
yeah, at least I got it halfway right.
You got it halfway right because that is 50% who you are. So everyone guesses Leo. So I do have a Leo rising. My actual sun sign though is Cancer. And
Uh,
people rarely guess it.
I would
Cancer.
not guess that obviously.
Right, because Cancers are quiet and they're homebodies and they're very, the family oriented. All of that stuff truly is who I am as well. But that first impression, me on the stage, me doing what I do in entertainment all day long is the Leo that you're seeing. Then you're
Mhm.
seeing the Cancer once you really get to know me and how I am with my family and my nieces and my brother, my mom. That's that Cancer side. And then my moon is actually in Taurus. So it's kind of like that fire, water, earth element. So it's kind of like it's a nice, mix of stuff. But yeah, but you were pretty much right. You guessed that. So I said 90% of people guess my rising. So, oh, you're right.
Credit
You
for the
got it.
take it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Uh-huh.
besides Dad, stop embarrassing me.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any other upcoming projects that you're working on,
Yes.
or anything else that we could look forward to from Porscha Coleman?
Absolutely. So on March 25th, which is right around the corner, go to Amazon Prime and watch me on a show called Paradise City. This is so amazing. I shot this show before I even shot Dad Stop Embarrassing Me, and it finally has a launch date. So I'm in about 4 episodes of this Paradise City show, which is very God, it's very edgy, very rock based, very God, it's just so different. It's a whole different genre than this show is, but it's so fire just to watch, especially someone who I was so in love with and he was so amazing. The late Cameron Boyce. This is actually his last project that he's starring in, before his passing. So to watch him on camera is going to be amazing. And I'm playing this like a cool assistant to one of the head guys who works at one of the record labels. So Paradise City on Amazon Prime, you can catch on March 25th. And then April 14th, Dad Stop Embarrassing Me on Netflix.
Hey,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Busy, booked, and
Yes.
busy.
Gotta stay booked and busy. Got to. Got to.
Okay. We just have one more question for you, Porscha,
Okay.
that we ask everybody just before we go.
Okay.
Um, I like to preface it by saying, giving each other our flowers while
Yeah.
we're still here is so important. We shouldn't wait
Mm,
until someone that we love or care about or cherish,
that's right.
okay, and then we honor them with their flowers later after we're gone. It's
Hmm.
each other that special love and attention right now. So
Yeah.
if you give your flowers to anybody, who would
Yes.
you give flowers to and why?
Ooh. So, I guess I'll give you two answers. One answer would have to be, I mean, it's probably different. Probably nobody's ever said this one. I'd have to give my flowers right now to someone who's actually passed on, and that would be my father.
Mm,
My dad passed away in early 2019. It was super sudden, and it was like it was just out of the blue. I mean, I was with him like the night before it happened. He just passed away at home, so he didn't suffer. It was nothing tragic, but it was just like shocking at 59 years old. My father would pass away. So I would give him flowers right now because for him to know that this show came about and to know that he would say, "Oh my God, that's my data." That's what he would always say. He was from LA, born and raised, but it was like that's my data. So he would be so happy to know everything that I'm doing right now. And of course, I go visit his mausoleum, so I fill him in on everything going on. So to me, you can give flowers to anyone, of course, because a soul is alive. Like when someone passes away, it's like their soul. You connect with them, you still feel them. So for someone who's not here, my father, just because he's 50% of the reason why I'm here. So I have to give him thanks for, of course, being such a supporter and being just the best dad for always, cheering me on anytime I was on TV. That's my daughter. That's daughter right there. And, getting on me for calling him all the time. Don't text me, call me. So I give him my flowers first.
that's
And
beautiful.
then second, I would definitely have to give flowers to Jamie. Jamie Foxx has been an incredible inspiration to me just as an artist. I mean, when you think of Jamie Foxx, there's nothing that he doesn't do. He sings, he
Yeah.
writes, he produces, he's a comedian, he
Mhm.
can dance. Like, I mean, he is funny, he's dramatic. He has this aura about him that is just so humble, but it's also so like I deserve this. I know what I have stepped into and I belong here. And for him to also feel like, you know what, I see your talent, I rock with you, and any chance I get, I'm gonna put you alongside me to show your talents. That you need flowers, you need everything in that regard. So to know that we did a movie and for him to come back and say, I got you, we're going to work on other projects, and to really do that and follow through, especially in Hollywood when people say so much and never stick to it, you get your flowers, Jamie. Thank
It's
you.
flower.
Get your flowers. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
and I got flowers back here, so boom,
I
flowers.
perfect.
Yeah, get your flowers. Yeah.
That is beautiful. You have been beautiful and fabulous. I want to
Thank you.
and thank you.
Appreciate you. I love Black Cinema Now. You guys have been so amazing. I've like followed the page. I love seeing you guys post because you guys, like you say, you give flowers to actors that have been established, actors that are up and coming, everything, that has to do with our culture and what we are doing right now in changing and making history in so many ways. You guys are a part of. So I want to give you guys your flowers too for, of course, want to have me on and show my talents and put me on your platform is amazing. So thank you too.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We are both here and we're both so honored
Yes.
to have guests like you come and sit with us.
Thank
So
you.
here
Appreciate you guys for sure.
you go. Tell us all one more
Yes.
time where we can follow you on social media.
Of course, you guys can legally stalk me in the legal way at Porscha Coleman. It's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Clubhouse. So yeah, follow. Let's chat. Let's have some fun and let's build. Like I say, it's all about grinding and sticking to what you want and what you believe in life and keep at it. Keep going, y'all. I'm telling you, the moment is gonna happen when any career that you're in. Stick to it. The moment's gonna happen and step into your greatness.
Oh, absolutely. I receive
Yes. Yeah. Thank
absolutely.
you.
But I do hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes. Thank you guys for sure.
Absolutely. Make sure that you're following Porscha. Make sure you're following
Yes.
now, and you can follow me, your host, over at
Yes.
H. And thank you so much for the follow, Porscha. I
You're
see
welcome. Of course, I got you. Much love and shout out to everybody watching. Thank you guys. I know you can't I can't watch and sit check the comments while we're doing the interviews, but I promise I'll go back and show love to everybody. So thank you guys for tuning in for sure. And it's been great and I'll see y'all soon.
Thank you so much. Till next time.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, bye. See you
Bye.
later.